All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been waiting a very long time to be able to get another podcast up, something that was decent, some good material here today. I have with me David Zawacki and Travis Lee from 10 Cent Toys, an up-and-coming group here in Tampa. Nice and Tampa famous. Tell us about the band. You guys just had a new music video up, I Order. Yeah?
Yeah. Just recently released.
Camera shy? It's all right, man. We're going to make you famous. You're a good-looking dude.
Well, I'm definitely the quiet type.
You're rocking the hair.
I should probably go ahead and see.
All right, so Brains doesn't want to get in on it, but Mouthpiece. Tell me a little bit about those lyrics. Welcome to my organization.
Very nice. And I was trying to do my best impersonation of a Barney song that I remembered as a kid. It didn't work out so well. It's kind of interesting. Tried to ad-lib, some Mary Had a Little Lamb, and it turned out to be I Order. So it's always interesting how that works out. Writing a song for mom, and then all of a sudden you're talking about your employer and how much you hate them and change all directions. But enough about my birth. What about you? How are you?
Doing great.
You can tell.
Everybody's getting off work today.
Heck yeah, I'm getting off.
You're off. I'm getting off.
We're all getting off.
Just wrapping up our
Casting
day the
couch,
right
part
way
one.
on the casting couch with some bourbon. You guys want to know some of that? I didn't roof yet. There we go.
Yeah.
Damn, Skippy. Well, so a few months ago, I got this crazy idea that I was going to do a podcast. I'm kind of toying around with it for a long time. So naturally, I went straight to Reddit, of all places. So like the hipster thing, anybody else here use Reddit? No Reddits? So I ended up on Tampa subreddit, and I had a bunch of people contact me, and some of them were, a little interesting. Some of them were just like, I'm a construction worker. I drink a lot, and I talk about shit. So somebody, one of your guys' fans, was like, hey, look up 10 Cent Toys. So I checked you guys out. And here we are.
And way taller in real life.
Way taller in real life.
Seriously, I'm like taller than this.
And I'm into a lot of music. I go through a lot of phases, so I'm not going to lie, man. I've actually jammed some of your stuff. Like, I'll just put it on YouTube and just kind of let it go.
We do too, but we do our best at Red Hot Chili Peppers impersonations at
Yeah.
the same time during rehearsal. It's way weirder. And we have dogs, like, just at rehearsal, smelling butt cracks. It's really weird.
You just talk about like doing like the gym socks, tube socks doing practice.
Well, if that's what you want to call them. I call them toddler feet.
How'd this group start?
Well, it all started one Thursday. I don't remember the Thursday, but it was a Thursday, I'm pretty sure.
Don't ask me, I joined in later.
I decided, I had been through many, many bands and many disaster pieces, which turned out to teach me quite a bit to function and form a band that wasn't ran under the same politics and perversions of other bands that distorted the reality of what was a band. A lot of dictators out there, a lot of very nasty people in the music scene. And unfortunately, you get your good, you get your bad. They had great music, great times, opportunities, ideas, but didn't know how to pursue keeping people involved, keeping people around, keeping people their friends. They see them as disposable, very, very easily replaced. And in the music world, it happens a lot. There are a lot of bands that very easily will change members. Every week they have a new drummer. Every week they have a new guitar player, bassist, so-and-so. You lose sight of that. We've had our lineup changes throughout the past year. And, it started off, I was just gonna do it as a solo musician. I got tired of playing live all the damn time when nobody else seemed to have the same feeling I did. I felt very alone on stage. And once I got to that point, I just kind of put myself on the back burner. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just learn to write music. So I did. And at the time, I was a guitarist for a band in West Palm Beach, which is where this fucker came into the picture. I had a lineup at that time for 10 Cent Toys, which was a very new and Halloween looking band. Orange and copper, shit like that. It was really weird. It was a weird phase for me. It's true shit.
If anybody that hasn't seen their music videos, go check out their music videos, and we'll talk about relative weirdness. But I dig it. I love the aesthetic, because I mean, like, anybody can just do, some bullshit music, and you guys don't do bullshit music. Like, you write something and then you sell it, and you dress the part, and you do these wacky videos, the lights and the darkness and shit. Like, it's it, man. I like that stuff. It's a little bit of like you take like almost like some Marilyn Manson aspects of like the vocals and kind of the flow. There's a little bit of inspiration here. You got to give it to Marilyn on that.
I used to work with him. Pretty much, yeah.
You used to work with Marilyn Manson?
Well, and at least an impersonator.
I'm going back over here, and I'm unplugging this hot tub.
Plugging the hot tub after leaving the gas tank couch. How else is he supposed to butter this up? Seriously, people? Come on now.
He's already started.
Yeah, he's getting us drunk too. It's a bit weird.
Although he messed up with not throwing the roofies in.
That low rhythmic droning is getting a little out of hand.
No roofies in the drinks.
No roofies in the drinks. We're going to keep it at least PG-13. 13-year-olds drink bourbon, right?
I've been doing movies.
Probably, yeah, right?
Works for the rest of us.
You ever seen what was it, 13?
I don't know. I was too old at the time. Pretty sure I'd go to jail.
If you could sum up your fan base in 2 words, like the average people that would show out to a 10 Cent Toy show.
Homo sapiens.
Humans.
He's not lying.
This one, wasn't it? Warm and squishy.
Warm and squishy.
Probably. I've yet to meet somebody cold and stiff.
So you ever hug one of them? They're definitely sweaty after one of their sets.
I believe it.
It's true.
Where do you guys usually gig at?
Over there. Yeah, right over there.
Over where?
We play just about everywhere. We want to get out of Florida. It would be nice. It's kind of an eventual goal here.
Where do you want to head to?
Everywhere but Florida.
Something
Oh, no,
particular about
We
Florida?
got a quite awesome fan base over in Sweden right now. Looking at you guys. Sweden.
In Sweden.
Hit us up.
It's awesome.
Do it for passports.
Workers' visas.
Right? At least the
Spend a couple months
minimums.
over there.
At least that's what the charts said from TuneCore.
Yeah? How high up are you guys? What was the number on that chart?
Pathetic, but it's cool.
Pathetic, but it's still like there's a presence.
It's noticeable.
It's kind of funny.
It's
how that
just
works,
not
right?
so hardcore as you might look like.
Like you work here in Florida, you do all this in Florida, then you find out like somewhere over in Sweden. You know,
So that was the
somebody's
thing
picked
that
up on it.
surprised us the most. It said that the top country that's digging our stuff is Sweden. We're like, what?
Sweden? Really?
I guess you're playing their music, man.
Then America and then Germany.
Germany, I can see. Definitely Germany. So when you guys aren't killing it on stage and recording music videos, what do you guys do? What are you into?
Dancing like a monkey. I'm really good at it. Probably the best I know.
Yeah, I do it while we're playing. Have you seen the video?
Yeah, have you seen us live?
You're serious, man. Yeah, you're the serious stoic one, you know.
Just wait till I have a few more drinks.
Yeah,
Seriously, speaking of, like,
You ready for another one?
you met this guy? I'll make him talk.
Let's go. I'm probably gonna have people bitching at me for vaping in front of the camera. Got a lot of haters on the e-cigarettes right now.
Cigarettes.
Yeah. That's what that little red man back there is from. That's the logo for the company I work for.
Logo for the company you work for?
Yeah. It's a British company. Got a bunch of stores. They dominate wherever we go. To Manifest Destiny.
Good album. Good album.
So what's next in the works for you guys?
Well, we were pushing this new single. We just released our first album is coming back to who we are. Tents and Toys started off as like an erotic little dance band. I fronted it at the time, and it was just supposed to be a studio thing. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was fucking around. I eventually got an offer for a show, which I threw together 2 minions that I had around and threw them on stage. Didn't work out well. Did it twice in a row. But managed to get our brother, our former bandmate Benjamin, back on stage, who helped me learn a lot. He helped rebuild the idea of I could do something live. I could really push the idea of live. Obviously he didn't join the band until much later on. After those shows, I kind of sat back and I realized, I was like, I'm not sure if I want to do this. And that was 2009. I was very hesitant to do anything at that point. But I ended up going to a Ventana show. Ventana, Crossbreed, and there was a few other bands. But I ended up running into a guy there. And he had auditioned for the band I was playing guitar in at the time, the one in West Palm Beach. And he had taken a liking to the tone, to what I was doing, something electronic, something different. And at the time, one of his friends came over and wanted to be a programmer for me, run lights and do things, learn musically.
Just throwing a little detail there at this time, that this person I was also in a band with as well. So he was doing both Tents and Toys and a project that I had going on
Okay.
outside.
So full time.
Drummer. Hey, he knows how to play just like a Zoom 707 too. I would know. Tried stealing the credit from his bandmate, the guy I had been talking to.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't help but notice something I had programmed into a drum pedal and into a guitar pedal at the time was in their tracks. But this guy swore up and down he wrote the song.
And just with going into a little bit more detail, fill in little gaps. The project I was a part of at that time, it was me and the other guitarist that were putting together the songs, sitting there writing all the guitar riffs and everything like that, composing all the music. And we used a Zoom pedal, which I ended up actually doing a trade with him for. So he already knows.
So your presets were...
My presets were there. I knew what it sounded like.
And we used that for a drum loop for one of the songs that we just wanted to kind of put a BS recording to and stuff and just get a little bit of a sound out there.
Right.
And,
straight stole your stuff.
Yeah, I instantly recognized what I was listening to. Instantly. I was like, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is a great song, man. You composed those drums? You did. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, definitely. How's your bandmates doing anything? Like, they're not doing a damn thing? Yeah, it's just me.
grimy, man.
And I happen to know it so well. I was like,
Apparently the same day, all on the same day. He was
he leaves.
to meet up with us, the other guys, for the other project.
I call him immediately. Hey man, my programmer just got fired. Do you want his job?
The first phone call was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. Like,
Heard
"Oh,
that-
you know,
heard
good
that new
stuff. How's
song?"
everything going? He goes, "Oh, pretty good. There's just something that happened that I kind of want to bring to your attention." So okay, and he was telling me about how somebody's taking credit for one of the songs that we've been putting up and everything, but he recognized the sound on there and knows that that was from that pedal. I was like, he goes, you used the Zoom, right? And I was like, yeah, of course. He goes, oh, okay, that's what I thought I heard. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, someone just showed me this and tried to take credit for it. I just want to let you know because I don't take kindly to that.
Yeah, I don't play bullshit artist.
And then he ended up telling me who it was, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, he's actually on his way over. He goes, well, just want to let you know that while you have this time that I can speak to you and everything, that just happened. And just so you know, I got a proposition for you now. I was like, oh yeah, what's that? He tells me, well, I just fired my programmer. How would you like to take over?
That's how it all started between you two. So now you're doing all the writing, and as far as like the music goes. So now, like, what's that process? What's that process like? Are you doing everything digital, or are you like putting in instruments and writing it and layering it, or?
Before, because I had a side project, Post Descent,
Mhm.
and I did do a little hardware and digital, so it was kind of 50-50 thing. But now with the return TCT and stuff, everything's pretty much just completely digital, using plugins and stuff.
Right on. Well, that's the way to go. I've played guitar for a few years, since I was 12 or 13, but like that's like where it stopped for me. Like I picked up drums a little bit, but like I'm way too light for drums. Like I just don't have the rhythm for it. But I'm very hands-on, so I just kind of sit around and just jam out, like folky, acoustic, bluesy stuff.
Just be you.
But both you guys' roots are in guitar, though, right? You both play guitar. No?
It is about everything.
You play about everything
Always have.
since
I was a young little
since you were a
kid.
wee lad.
I started off as a drummer. So I've always got a strong passion for drums. Moved to bass shortly after, where I found my love for the rhythm section and the low end.
Definitely.
And then I eventually picked up guitar and just I'd get bored with an instrument after playing it for so long, feel like I wasn't getting any better, switch to a new one. And I kept doing the rebounding cycle, and after, a billion instruments, I started getting okay at certain ones. And just kept going through. So I take periods of time away from instruments, only to end up going back to those instruments years later and picking up as if I've been practicing since that moment.
Right.
And just naturally have that ability to continue to grow, even though I'm not doing those instruments anymore. Because the last time I was a vocalist was before he was in the band. So a good 7+ years ago.
You picked right up on it.
And now it's kind of our thing.
It's awesome.
That's how this has developed. He showed up at my house with a Korg, micro Korg, not knowing how to play it, but it had some cool noises, so we played them. And he was going to learn.
Is that one of the like synthesizer pad type deals? Yeah.
A little bored.
Very cool.
He had just gotten it. I remember that like it was
Because
yesterday.
actually, I had this is probably after I got a keyboard, it was about the second time that I interviewed or auditioned for 10 Cent Toys. First time was with guitar, when he was actually thinking of incorporating guitar into the sound.
Very cool.
And, well, I don't think he dug it.
Yeah,
Because he kind of gave me
It was a bit rough. Guitar was a bit rough.
I don't know, man. Like, I used to play on this like Spider 2 Line 6 amp back in the day, and it had all those different presets. So there was like actually like a Joe Satriani preset, and if you mixed it just right with the corn, you would get like this crazy distortion sound. And I mean, it was just like this crazy electronic synthesized guitar, and you could just play like pentatonics on it, and it just sounded like the most ridiculous alien sound.
Mm-hmm.
Like the right pedals and the right distortion, you can make anything sound so crazy. I kind of miss jamming out electric like that. I got rid of all my electric gear and I'm down to the acoustic. I don't pick it up. I got too many hobbies now. Like it was like a passion for so long, and then just slipped
One
away.
day it's done.
Just life gets in the way. Like I pick it up once every couple of weeks and mess around. You guys want to play with it? This is here. Check this out.
He's just like, no.
This is the only guitar that I'll never get rid of. It's an Alvarez acoustic electric. It's made in like, it has to be the 80s. But I got this when I was a teenager. It's like one of my first ones. It should just be in standard. It's been through hell. Been through hell.
I know I'm that good, right? Yeah. Okay, good.
No one knows what it's like.
To sound this bad, like seriously.
All right, we're gonna need more drinks.
Yeah,
Hey, as long as we don't bring out the Limp Bizkit version of that song, I think we'll be all right.
Well, I was waiting for him to jump in.
With the speak and spell. Can't go wrong.
Whatever. I mean,
Can't go wrong with the speak and spell.
As if everybody was handicapped or something. I guess their fan base.
We gotta continue on with how everything happened, though.
Oh God.
I'll say it. People might like to hear how, because it's still kind of a little bit of gaps to the story.
I'm sure there is.
Oh God.
Well, okay, so the first audition.
The alcohol's starting to.
I can take one look at you guys and I can tell you're not exactly the face value type of humans.
All right, so like I
that's
said,
good.
the first audition was basically with the guitar. Didn't happen. And then, well, the whole thing with the bandmate that was trying to take the credit and stuff. That happened, that got me in, but you know, just trying to throw me on lights. Not do anything, pressing a couple buttons and making little flashes happen and shit. And
You were old school. Installed switches and everything. Literal light switches. Like I didn't even fucking make that up. Literal on and off. Not even fucking dimmer switches. Literal, like the ones on your wall, ladies and gentlemen. Those round fuckers. Yeah,
I'll tell
we
you
use
what,
those.
though, before we became what we are now with the return, and we had that all upgraded. Now we don't use it.
Yeah, that shit
That was a lot of
got
money
tired
too.
a long time.
But nah, so yeah, let me try out the lights and stuff. Came over and showed me how to run the lights and everything. You know, it's kind of fun. It's cool and stuff, but it just wasn't me. I really like being behind the instruments where I feel I belong. And I bugged him about it. I was like, look, man, I'm telling you, you're gonna want me behind an instrument. I may not know how to play this particular instrument, but
Just
trust
yeah.
me.
Give me time. though.
Trust me.
Give me time.
And so he was like, all right, well, if you got one that has a good low end, then we'll throw you on bass synths. I was like, okay.
Yeah, get you started. Get you learning the notes. Learn
I was
how
like,
to
well, I
do
just
it.
got one. So yeah, definitely. Like I got some pretty good low end on at least one of the settings. And so he goes, all right, well, next time you come over, bring it over and we'll see what we can do with it. All right. So I brought it over, showed him the low end sounds and stuff. And I'm pretty sure you like telling the rest of the story. The one song that I actually got down and wouldn't think that I would.
Comes over, right? It's kind of running through a couple of songs. Yeah, I'll give him the easiest ones first. To start him off, you know, kind of like get acclimated to the instrument. He's like, I can't fucking get it. I can't figure it out. Just playing and playing. And he's just like getting stressed about it. I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
And they
Jam to any of them.
3 notes. I couldn't do 3 fucking notes on the damn thing.
Couldn't do it.
You were psyching yourself out. That's what it was.
I guess.
You got inside your own head.
So, fuck with it. I was like, well, I just came up with this new song, this new idea.
I think he was trying to stress me out to the point of jumping back on lights.
So I was like, here's a song. Most difficult bass pattern I had. And one of my favorite ones to this day. Still one of the most fun patterns to play. Because it was just a bunch of octave bounces and then I reverse it at the end and it's slightly more complex. It's definitely not your beginner level shit.
Okay.
Plays it right away.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Knocked it right out. First song he learned.
It's trial by fire. It's what that is. He was messing with your head.
Gave him the easy shit.
I think that's what won him over after that.
I was like,
it's like,
see,
I guess
young
this could
Padawan.
happen.
Young Padawan shall learn. He will get better.
I kind of wish I had like a visual of like what your setup is. Like, cause like I watched the music video and I know like you guys are like, doing your thing in the music video, but like you look like you have like an entire like DJ setup thing. Like you look like the master at his controls.
So we're going to talk about my rig.
Sure. I mean, it's going to be Greek to me. I'm sure somebody like one of your fans is going to pick this up and they're going to be like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. But to me, you might as well be talking about like alien technology. I'm dealing with an acoustic electric from '88 that has a dead 9-volt in it.
All right, just before this starts, I just want to let you know I'm just backtracking. Okay, nothing. Just bullshit the whole time. Maybe that might be a lie.
Yeah, I'll pause during live.
Fuck you.
You think you're Britney Spears, bitch? Britney Spears is nothing. If I can't fake on stage, and you're not faking, I want to hear it.
You guys try to keep it like as like organic as it is. Like when you
We're
record
definitely
something.
live. We fuck up, we look at each other.
Dude, you definitely hear it on the.
You'll hear it live. Oh,
the live video for I Order.
Yeah.
During that show in Orlando, you can definitely hear it. If you pay attention, you listen to it, you're.
total off note.
So you're not like, who was that guy that like he lost his hard drive and had to cancel a tour? A few years ago, like.
Oh no, that would never be us.
No,
I'll find a way to make some sounds.
We'll make it happen.
So because I'm back on Facebook, I gotta ask you, what the hell were you doing leaving your shit in your truck? What happened with that? Where you guys had your truck broken into and got all your stuff ganked from you?
So the show in Orlando actually ended up lasting longer than I expected.
Okay.
And I had woken up early and I'd stayed out pretty late and stuff. It probably was about 2:30 in the morning. I ended up finally leaving the venue, and I'm beyond exhausted. And I was going to my buddy's place. He said that lives in the area and whatnot, and said I could crash just so I don't have to drive all the way back exhausted and whatnot and fall asleep.
So all that's like it happened in Orlando.
Yes.
Grimy bastards.
And well, I left the venue, got there close to 3 a.m, and I'm not thinking much of it. I'm exhausted. My buddy lives in a gated community. I'm not thinking much of anything really going to happen. And so get there, I parked my truck, and I locked it up, went inside, set an alarm for an hour and a half, 2 hours, went to sleep, woke up, went out to the truck, and that's when I realized my window was busted out, and they took my my laptop and some personal possessions, our merchandise,
Jesus.
some other pieces of equipment.
Well, I hope that in the future this little podcast becomes a little bit more than what it is now, and that this eventually gets back around to the sons of bitches that did it, so I can let them know personally that they're slimy pieces of shit. That's some fucked up shit. We've had stuff stolen out of cars before. I mean, just recently, we've had people steal our lawn furniture out of our yard. We've been here for 2 weeks, and people came right up into our backyard, took our lawn furniture, like a love seat, 2 chairs, and a table, and just walked away with it. So, like, shit sucks.
Should I go check my car?
You're fine. You should be all right.
Don't worry.
I think they know now. They know.
You should.
They know
They
that
should be very worried.
I've made myself very well in view of everybody in this neighborhood now. So
You don't want to steal from them, especially.
and don't get caught. You do not want to get caught.
No, if you get caught. No.
It's gonna be a bad day.
See, the thing that sucks, like, yes, it sucks getting your shit stolen, but it forced us to think differently. It forced us to re-engineer who we are and what we do. We upgraded seriously hardcore from that show.
After getting everything stolen, you just went, full bore.
Oh yeah. Well, see, we've always bought a very light, very easy rig. We haven't had a whole lot. Computer, a keyboard, MIDI controlled keyboard, and a live audio rig. A mixer, our backtracks, and then my rig as well. And they took the computer. We had to get a new computer. There was no getting out of that. They stole the merch. They stole the backtracks. And they just tossed that into somebody's yard. Somebody brought that back to us. We appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, actually shot him a message like, I found this iPod in my front yard and went through the contacts, and you're the only one in there, so I figured we'd contact you and just want to know if you lost one.
See, they're still good people. Like,
yeah, still a few good hope.
Like some stuff happens, it makes you just like completely lose trust, and then something else happens, it makes you realize that the majority.
All right, let's kill me here. I don't need to get too.
You're gonna drive?
He's gonna drink twice.
You wanna have one more?
Oh, he's definitely.
All right, we're gonna call it after this. This is pretty potent, small batch hipster bourbon. I love living in South Tampa. This place is like I lived in Spring Hill.
Cop signs are a nice touch.
That's 275 right here. That's every single night, man. Somebody biffs it on 275 like a clockwork every night. It gets dark a little bit. Old people just can't see over the steering wheel, and it's dark. Dude, it's game over. But lived in Spring Hill for a few years, lived in Zephyr Hills for a year, lived in Carrollwood, and then like between like Spring Hill and living in Tampa, like I lived in like Temple Terrace. You guys ever been over to Temple Terrace? You live in Temple Terrace?
I live in that area.
I lived right over off 55th Street or 56th Street.
Okay.
I know exactly where you were.
I had no idea what Tampa was like until I moved down here. The place is a trip. Lived down there right after, well, I'll just say it was like 2014. Like 2014, kind of politically charged around the time. It was interesting. It was an interesting year. All right, anyway. To Tampa, I love this fucking town.
And from our new sponsors, no, maybe?
Yeah, Rockstar, if you're going to use this, you can just bleep us. Or Jack Links or LaCroix.
All about it.
Oh, man, I lived in Georgia for a short time. You guys ever been to Georgia? Yeah?
Only the airport.
Only the airport. Atlanta?
I performed it.
In Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
I
got my head caved in by my vocalist at the time. I mean, with a mic stand.
Oh
I was
my
playing drums.
God.
I kept beat on the song, finished the set and everything, but huge gashing blood,
like
big knot.
Like an intentional, I'm going to bludgeon you? Or?
No, he's just being himself. Hit me, knocked me right out of that.
Man.
I was like, bam, done. But it was fun. It was good. Good times.
I saw Yellow Card and All Time Low in Atlanta. Not one of my finer moments in my life. And then I saw Day to Remember in Atlanta. Day to Remember was a good show. But South Tampa, man, this place rules. I haven't been able to venture out much yet, but like I've been down to like Hyde Park and like the Soho area. I'm really digging on the hipster scenes over here.
Always safe until you get south of Kennedy.
Pretty much.
It's the truth.
There's some
That's where I am.
spots. There's some spots, but I mean, I've lived in Tampa on and off for a few years now, and I've never had an issue with somebody. Like I always hear about, people having problems, and you go to clubs and you do this and that. Like you kind of subject yourself to those issues. But I'm really, more of like a recluse. Like I go out, I do what I need to do, and then I get the fuck out, and I don't spend a lot of time, kind of put myself out there. So I've always had pretty positive experiences down here, other than the yard bandits and, living in Temple Terrace, our cars got broken into a few times. They made off with like some Newports and change.
Yeah, we're not exactly the most social of characters. We venture out every now and again.
I'm trying to be better about it. I really am. That's what the podcast is for, and I'm trying to put myself out there, because for a few years, man, I was like working this shit job. It sucked, and it kind of like psychologically like messed with my head. It made me like really withdrawn. and I was texting you. So like a few months ago, I was like 265 pounds, which I'm not a tall dude. Like 265 is like I was blowing out of everything that I put on. Like I looked bad. I looked like on death's bed. I'm 28. I'm not even 28 yet, but I looked like I was 35 years old. 28, right? I'm old or I'm young. Which one is that? You're 28?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I looked like I was 35. Like I was fucked. I would lay down in bed and my toes would tingle. Like it would like hurt. So I knew I had to make some changes and put myself out there a little bit. So this is like all kind of like part of that, you know, like I was off Facebook for like 4 years and now I'm coming back into the light and I'm trying to meet interesting people. And I think that interesting people need to be shown because we have this like generic version of what a person is. And like your Facebook says this much and the people that know you know a little bit more. So the more that you can, you know, just be authentic, the more people understand. It's all about positive interactions.
Yeah.
My goal,
Sorry, we had to.
my goal is eventually like I'm gonna
True
get
it. They know what's up.
I'm gonna get a house sweater that matches my slippers. I'm gonna be the adult version of Mr. Rogers, and it's all gonna be about how my neighborhood works. And Tampa's my neighborhood. You know, I love this town. It has its ups and downs.
You guys start singing the song too?
Start singing the song?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day in this little hood.
We got a Colt 45 in this neighborhood.
Try to break into my car in my neighborhood.
Just shout out a caliber.
Yeah. I'm glad we could do this. I'm glad that we had a little bit of a liquid medium here because I haven't done this in a couple months. So what do you guys want to talk about? You want to plug something? You got some fans out there waiting for a shout out.
How about you?
How about me?
Yeah, you've been interviewing us. Now we gotta harass you. That's
Sure.
how this works, right?
Sure, hit me up.
95% sure.
Sure.
Role playing.
I put my life on display all through my house. It's not been particularly interesting. I've just been kind of like all over the place.
So how long have you on the casting couch?
This was my first couch when I became an adult. So
3 years ago.
when I got out of the army, I came home and I got this right when I got my first apartment. And I've had this for
It was a Thursday, right?
years. It was probably a Thursday. Paid $75 for this couch, bought it off my former neighbor, and I refuse to throw it away. I love this damn thing. Love the couch.
I know it's been tainted for a while now.
I've
Feel
actually
a little
like
nervous
I know
sitting on
it
it.
looks a little worse for wear, man,
Yes,
but
I'll
this
do it.
thing I've taken good care
I
of
mean,
it.
does it have like pre-made hair gel?
No. There's no something about Mary with this couch.
So, you interview people, random weirdos in your house.
I try to. I'm very
on a
trusting,
casting couch.
but at the same time, it's like, you know, what's the worst that could happen? You know,
Well, you meet these two fuckers.
I'm okay with it.
Um,
I'm okay
I'm
with it.
sorry.
I've had weirder people in my
sorry.
home. I've had much weirder people in my home.
Despite what everyone may think, we're actually kind of we're chill.
We're people.
You seem pretty normal.
We're
Seem
normal
pretty
people. You see us in public.
Which brings me to another thing I want to ask about. Is that the Tampa spot that you guys have tattooed on you? Is that what that is?
Obviously.
That's the Tampa spot? Okay. I get it. See,
It's like he hasn't even looked.
I'm perceptive.
He has no idea.
You know, I've never been there. I've always been too intimidated to go there.
Just in case you can't really see that. Well, that right there. Yes.
Yeah.
I've always been a little scared to go there because I
Spot.
know that there's a 10-year-old that can school my ass all day.
6-year-olds.
Dude, there's 6-year-olds out there that will
See, man,
ruin
this is
my
me
life
too.
in a game of skate.
Really need to get 10-cent toys going across like our
Yeah, no,
logo.
no, kidding. No kidding. Yeah, these are the world's greatest skaters right there.
Is that what that really is?
B0, you know.
What
Tony
are,
Hawk, that's how you spell it.
what are
Travis
those?
Lee.
What are those signatures?
That's you know, Dan Margera.
What's the story behind those? Man, I love ink. Obviously, I wouldn't be
You like ink? I like
I
pens
wouldn't-
too.
I wouldn't have a
Usually,
little
number 2.
sleeved up if I didn't like it.
We're being dicks, man. We're being dicks.
Everybody likes to
always
talk
a
about their
dick.
tattoos.
Actually,
No, you're not a dick, man. You're fine.
This is the whole list.
That's the last lineup.
The lineup of the band before we did our return. That's everyone's signatures.
Kyle Kaufman. This piece of shit. Kat Kyodum at
Yeah,
the
so you
time.
can just cross that one out because I'm still here.
Well, you know. Benjamin Zero.
In memoriam.
I believe in Benjamin Zero.
What do you believe in?
The song. Usually.
I believe in a
Pretty good
thing
song.
called love.
The musical breakdown.
What's that say?
Thug Life or Get Fucked.
What is that?
I'm not sure.
Oh, diabetic. Okay, right on.
Yeah, Thug Life.
Thug
I
life.
can't help it if he's retarded.
Insulin life.
Well, you know, type 1 diabetic. Greater than my highs and lows. Got quite a few diabetic tattoos. Awkwardly enough.
I can
Which
dig
is
it.
where we should bring in DKA because you were worried that not too many people.
Yeah,
made
nobody
the
understands that song.
What's that?
Diabetic ketoacidosis. Just DKA. 6th song on our new album.
Okay.
For everybody who's bought it. All 3 of you.
And the album's out.
Maybe 3. It's stupid.
Where can we get the album at?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Literally.
Anywhere albums are sold.
Pretty much. Digitally, at least.
Digitally.
Yeah, we have a
Everywhere
few
but thrift
physical.
store, hopefully.
What store?
Thrift store.
Oh no, there's like 20 copies in Orlando right now.
We just released
If
it.
you
It
want
hasn't
them,
even been here. I hope it's not already in the thrift store.
I hope I'm not going to find you guys in like that $5 Walmart CD bin. They even do this.
They're gonna go
anymore?
free drink coasters, and they're just gonna be ours.
Hey, if that's a thing, all right. They better give us some money.
They better.
Free drink coasters.
But people can get on like Amazon and get it.
Full paw. Right
Okay.
There.
There we go.
This phone's going off.
I know.
Table.
It's. I got people.
It's got hit
Probably
on
people listening right now trying to text me and mess me up.
Quit goofing off.
I know.
Masses.
Yeah,
See,
that's exactly
what
it
it is. They're tuned into you like, what the shit are we watching?
I'm telling you.
Me neither.
I'm gonna do a quick time check.
Time check.
Eventually, someday, I'm gonna have somebody that can do all this for me. Look, we're blowing up, guys. We're getting famous.
They must have actually watched My Order.
We're making moves tonight.
All 3 of them.
We got 2.
I'm going to share your guys' videos. I have a very limited amount of friends because I just activated my Facebook not that long ago.
Me too.
Well, we are in talks of going back into shooting for the original music video we were working on in the first place before I ordered.
Oh God.
Hopefully we'll make that happen. We had some
Unfortunate setbacks. To be nice about it.
Okay.
We were shooting a video for a song called Suicide Support Society.
Okay.
Anyone who knows
Stop
me and
making
is
out the
known
proper
over the
sounds.
last 2 decades has heard this song from me. At least once, twice, 1,000 times. I've been working on this song since I was roughly 13. So about 19 years now. I'm probably really bad at math, so pretty sure the time's off. Me neither. But I've been working on this song. It's gone through 100,000 changes, dozens of bands, and we shot a video for it, and we started editing it, started working on it, and Chester Bennington killed himself right as we were about to release it. Like, just got the video all shot, started putting pieces of it together, and then that news hit. Really bad timing for us.
Yeah.
Kind of snipped the balls on the album. Kind of set us back for quite a bit. Like we
just for the
still,
music video.
yeah, that video. Like we still been playing songs. We found out other songs were much bigger hits and much better songs. You know, we've gotten quite an amazing response for Still Bleeding, Employee, Already Dead, where Suicide kind of fell to the back burner because of the subject matter and time. which is unfortunate. It's a really good song. It's a really strong song, but it just the time frame and what had happened, we didn't want to be completely disheartened to everyone who was feeling for that era, for that time. Because we grew up in the same time frame. I was part of their street team in the 90s. I handed out cassettes. My brother can testify to this. I had 100,000 of those little bastards.
Linkin Park cassettes?
Yeah, Linkin Park. There were little white cassettes with a black slip over the bastard. Anyone who knows me has got one. Seriously, I had like 200 of those fucking things. Like
first
boxes.
That first album that Linkin Park had, they got big. They got radio play. I'm talking like.
If you found out about it in Florida.
Well, see, I was living in Ohio, so I lived in a town that was like 6 years behind the curve of everywhere else in the world. So like that was like the anthem of from like 11 to like 15 before I discovered like, you know, Slipknot and Lamb of God and got into metal. Like Linkin Park was like the music. And I always loved them and appreciated them because the older I got, the new albums they released, they matured. So it went from like, you know, Nothing Even Matters all the way up to bigger and better songs that actually kind of like aged with me. So it wasn't like that typecasted group that, you know, like if you're playing this type of music, you're going to be playing it for, you know, early teens and preteens until you fade and disappear. But Linkin Park stayed current, and they, you know, they knew their fan base, and the music grew with them. So that was something that I always had, you know, as an admirer, as a fan.
I feel like our evolution has been kind of interesting as far as developments and fan bases go. We've never really had that stable, like, these are your fans.
Right.
We reached out to people. If they liked us, they joined us. They come on. We changed so many times. We got a female vocalist. We got prettier. We got nicer. We got angry. We got all these different wide array of emotions. We were like the evanescence of the industrial EDM scene.
Very short period of time, we got sexy too, but that didn't last.
So close, almost had it.
But when everything came to an end, roughly a year, 2 years ago, you know, I was sitting around, I was like, well, I'm done with music. I'm calling it quits. And we were all going back to college. We were all getting back invested into other things. And I felt misplaced in the world. I felt very odd. I was working 3 jobs at the time. I just didn't have any social life. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do a damn thing. Like, music is all I've ever known since I was before my balls had dropped. Before I knew to smack my noodle, I was playing on the guitar. Drums. I was playing with those sticks before I was playing with mine. Okay, like, I didn't know. So that's always been something that's been a constant thing in my life. You know, even through the bad stuff of my childhood, growing up, everything that had gone on, I always had one thing: music, focus. And so calling it quits really set me into this weird depression, like real bad depression.
He was the only one who did the same thing happened to me.
And it was rough.
This is after the moment he's talking about is right after everyone kind of split off, went their own ways, got married and had a child and stuff. They went off to move into their new place and do their thing, start their family and stuff, you know. So we just kind of we tried something else afterwards. Shortly afterwards, we did try another project. It was more of industrial metal, kind of crossbreed, why not sound and stuff. And
We learned a lesson. Big bands are very difficult to be a part of.
yeah,
Jeez Louise, man.
a lot of trying to keep everyone sane and on time and stuff.
I barely get along with myself creatively. I couldn't imagine having like 4 other people.
Oh, this was more
4?
than just
Yeah, we had 5 plus the 2 of us.
Were you guys trying to do like a Slipknot cover band? What was going on?
Almost. If we had the mask, we would have gotten away with it.
Well,
If it wouldn't have been for Scooby-Doo.
we had 2
Master
vocalists,
kids.
male and female. David on guitar. We had a bassist, a light guy, and then me on drums.
And a keyboardist.
And a keyboardist, yes.
We had everything.
That sounds involved.
It was a big band. A lot of gear, a lot of time, and a lot of stress.
I will always give like nothing but respect to people that follow like what they were supposed to do. Like you guys are supposed to play music, that's it. Like I don't care about the ups and downs. I don't care how hard it gets in life. Like it's very rare that somebody follows some sort of a passion. Everybody falls into that trap eventually of, well, I just have to make ends meet. I just have to pay my bills. Screw it, I'll do it for a couple of years. Who knows where I'll end up, in a couple of years. Maybe I'll do this job. And you lose sight of who you are as an individual.
For you? That's
the truth. And so many people don't, like I get like it's hard. Like the struggle is real. People go to college, they get these degrees, they put themselves $90,000 in debt, and then they end up working for the same amount that they would have made going to a vocational school. So to see somebody that's out there and you guys are busting ass, you're grinding, you're making music, you're doing videos.
And working full-time jobs. Like, dang.
Yeah, I give mad props to people that follow their dreams.
We don't have the glorious jobs that, some people always dream of and hope for. We're not exactly the greatest managers at our jobs or do anything above and beyond that's so insane that makes us top employee of the month company wide.
All right, so
but we make our bets.
Next topic. What do you guys do for your day jobs?
I prefer not to say.
You prefer not to say? Okay, no comment.
Casting couch, don't you know?
Casting couch.
I'm here every week.
Well, I try not to say it, but
you're a fluffer.
Big mouth over here.
Casting couch, duh.
Now people go researching. Oh yeah,
yeah, toys.
Hey, everybody needs a day job. I don't knock it. All right, I'll try anything twice.
Mine's jerking my noodle, but it's the only thing I know I'm good at.
Even then, it's still kind of questionable. I quit half the time.
Oh man.
I would embarrass my company, but those fuckers actually watch stuff that I do, so they know
really?
who I am.
They follow the semi-famous employee just to see what you're doing.
They at least know to make fun of me when I return to work on Saturday.
Or they're checking your Instagram, seeing if you're doing anything illegal.
No, it's mostly the Facebook.
Band related.
All on my Facebook. Every one of them. At least two of them are watching right now, especially one.
I'm sure I have a couple.
Hi, Stefan.
A couple coworkers watching right now because I left a few of them there that are stuck there till 9.
We both know he is.
Big time.
Probably miss 52.
Shout outs to everyone. Well, in that case, Keith, Chelsea, love you guys.
Ditto, I think.
They're good people.
Yeah.
I work with good people. I work in a vape shop. So, like, the people that come into the vape shop, they're vapors. The people that I work with are vapors. And vapors are my people. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. Are you still on cigarettes, or are you just strict vape?
Kind of back and forth. Depends on the day.
Don't do that. I'm a long time without a cigarette. Like, that's actually, like, all this over here, and then that, like, desk included, it's all, like, a vape, like, station. I build coils and RDAs and all that crap. Like, I've completely dumped cigarettes and just made this a hobby. Of course, I'm using this tank because it's what we carry at my work, so I have to use it. So it's all right. I still like it. Yeah, it's good. It's glazed donut. Can't go wrong with glazed donut. But whatever. All right.
Be careful with those words around this guy.
Glazed donut. I like glazed.
Oh, it's so good.
I usually glaze them myself.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, jeez.
I kind of prefer just a little.
We always have a joke.
It's all right. We're looking for authenticity here. You can only dress up a human so much before you realize it's still just a monkey.
I was never told if we had to be censored.
No, I mean, it's. I'm not too concerned about censorship. I go for authenticity. You get what you get. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a doctor on before too long, and that one's probably going to be, like, real strict, and I can't be drinking, and, we're going to be talking about, like, diets and, medical procedures and stuff, which I kind of have, like, some base knowledge on. And
you just tell him that you know a guy. who has a lot of questions for him.
For what kind of questions?
So, who's his favorite proctologist?
Favorite proctologist?
I mean, come on, we gotta know this stuff, right, people?
It's Jason Momoa.
It's gonna Aquaman those tunnels.
Did you guys see that movie?
I would have
See the
said
new
Ron
Justice
Jeremy,
League?
but all right.
Ron Jeremy's gonna be your proctologist?
Not mine.
Yeah, that's who's
It's
wanting.
definitely somebody else's, that's for sure.
Probably. That guy still gets around, man. He's OG, still kicking it, you know?
He's
Still-
still slutty. We endorse slutty.
10 Cent Toys, ladies and gentlemen. Endorsing Ron Jeremy and whatever he's doing right now. Ron Jeremy.
My dude.
If you ever see this, Ron, props to you, man. The punchline of so many jokes in the early 2000s. Just because
He's gonna punch any line he wants. It doesn't matter. Okay? Like, seriously, that's my dude. What's up, man? We wrote a song with your name in it, too. Seriously. Like, that actually happened. It's a song
Really?
called Porn Star.
What's it called?
Porn Star. Yeah,
Porn
that actually happened. Kat wrote it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What was the context of his name?
She was gonna be so big that Ron Jeremy was gonna be her bitch. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you ever meet Kat Theodem,
You're listening to the lyrical genius of David Zawacki.
no, not me. That one was all Kat. Look, my hand was out of that. My hand was out of that pot.
David Zawacki, a man with integrity.
Always.
Climax, though.
That's my.
You guys made a believer out of me tonight. I'm gonna really start stalking your music and I'm gonna promote it. When are you guys playing next?
With ourselves, probably tonight.
Probably
on the casting
tonight.
couch.
All right, but in front of an audience that you might actually have to pay to get in to see.
Well, they can pay. I mean, isn't that what Pornhub's for?
I have a webcam.
Right? Well, that's what they want. At least we got authentic audio going. Like, oh, you're every moan.
It's pretty much HD audio
Bite the
and like
pillow,
some
bitch.
HD video. So. But what's the game plan for the next shows? Anything coming up soon?
We're going to be releasing this single here on the 13th
Okay.
of iOrder. It's actually up and ready for sale. You can pre-order it now. Digital retailers everywhere.
Okay.
We're not going to be pressing physical copies of it. We're just kind of doing a video, releasing a single, kind of see how it goes. We kind of improvised the whole idea this time.
Somewhere in there,
We
we're going to
didn't-
be reshooting for Suicide Support Society again.
Awesome.
And shoot for more videos and more singles and just kind of keep the momentum going. We kind of got disheartened with releasing an album because concept albums don't exactly pan out anymore. Everyone has the attention span of a goldfish. It's 8 seconds. If you can't catch me within that 8 seconds, we're moving on to the
Yeah,
next band.
the days of Tommy are over.
Yeah, we can't put together a full album with all these ideas and actually have a concept beginning to end. You know, this is how this story begins. This is how the story develops. This is how the story ends. Like, you can't do that with an album anymore. Like, it's been
You
years.
can, but you're looking at like a niche group, you know, that still look for
Very
stuff
few.
like that.
So for those few people, Rebirth, you're welcome. You'll understand a little bit what I'm doing. But now we're working on feeling the moment. That song, you know, that's what we kind of did with iOrder. He presented me this new song he just finished up. It was right before the last show, literally less than a month before the show. He goes, hey, I got this new song. Throws it at me. I listened to it on my way to and from work, and I really like it. I really like how it sounds. I like how it develops. And I hear it in my head, what I want to say. So I write lyrics. And we're 2 weeks out from the show. I was like, we got to play it live. We've never rehearsed this song. How are we going to do that? We got like 2 weeks.
That's the brother.
My brother. My brother. I didn't even know. All this time I thought it was adopted. But we developed this song, and I was like, I'd like to rehearse it. I've got lyrics. I gotta like test them out. So we run through it the once, and we both look at each other like, shit, this is really good. This is really good. I was like, give me another week. I definitely want to play it live. This is a week out from the show. We've played this song one time. Dead ass serious. Like, can't make this shit up. It's a few days before the show. I was like, I've got the lyrics down solid. No questions. We're ready to go. I was like, you able to record it? Sure enough. Let's fucking do this. Get it recorded.
Released
Recorded it,
released it,
and released it. It was just like, we're sold on this.
Well, not released, but submitted.
Yeah, it's all ready to go.
They won't allow us to release it until a certain amount of time.
Yeah, they expect you to have weeks. When you submit something, it takes weeks for them to process it. When you submit a single, however, it takes about 3 or 4 days. Know this. We could have had this released on Christmas. We had the video done before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Had everything ready to go. They won't allow us to release it any sooner.
Gotcha.
So we picked the only day that they would allow us to release it, 13th. So that's when it hits and is available to everyone. But you can pre-order it now. Cost you $1. Yeah, can't hurt for that.
I'll be looking for it.
It's out there.
I'll be looking
I've
for
seen
it.
it on
Seriously.
Amazon. I've seen it on iTunes. I haven't looked really very far.
Amazon, iTunes, and I'm sure something.
I'm sure
Something
they're all
else.
over the other ones.
Just look them up. 10-cent toys. When you guys get some next live shows coming up, make sure you post the hell out of it. I'm sure you will. But I'll be there. Never flyered. Well,
Bullshit.
you don't need a flyer anymore. Social media.
We're gonna flyer.
You're gonna flyer, hit
Yeah.
everything
Now I'm gonna personally tape 5,000 flyers to his house.
to my house.
Yeah, just to him.
You're gonna need more than that.
I'm gonna make sure he knows. Just him. All right, might not do 5,000, but at least one.
At least one.
One's reasonable.
You guys better.
I
let me
met
know.
in the
I want to
middle
come out
there.
and check out your shows. Is there a dress code for your shows? Can I wear like a shirt and tie?
Dude,
Sock.
A sock? Just a
Yeah,
sock?
you gotta match the band.
some of them require you, to protect that and stuff.
At
Awesome.
least that. No minimums. No shirt, no shoes.
Just a
A
sock.
sock.
Just a
is
sock.
acceptable.
Can I get one of those like Spencer's gag ones? It's like Mr. Elephant, like the elephant ears.
Oh no, I keep trying to find one with holes so this way I can put my piercing through it, but it doesn't work out well. As far as he thinks I'm joking.
Along
He does
that note.
literal push-ups or pull-ups or whatever you want to call that shit.
Pierced.
All right.
Dead ass serious. Bonanza. Yeah. Yeah.
He lives,
Fantastic.
bro, but in a whole different way.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, on that
The
note,
worst part is you can't even make this shit up.
you guys hungry? Want some dinner?
Let's put sausages down our throat.
Let's get some sausages. We're gonna call it there. Ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 1 with 10-cent toys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. We're gonna get some sausages, and I'm gonna catch you guys later.